Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And the BBC, Britain's state broadcaster, and what a state, has given itself a target and a quota. It wants 50% of staff and talent to be female. So how's it doing? Well, it says it's achieved this, and that 50% of everyone who works for the BBC is now female. But they would say that, wouldn't they? They are being rather disingenuous, of course, but what do you expect from a crypto-Marxist organisation like the BBC? Because a lot of those, quote, females are in fact men. And how do they get around this quandary? Well, it's simple. They redefine the term woman to mean men who would like to be women. Let's have a look at this article. So, state-owned BBC is disappearing women by filling gender quotas with trans staff. A senior insider within Britain's state-owned BBC has claimed that the broadcaster is now disappearing women by allowing gender quotas to be filled by trans individuals, men wearing woman face. In what appears to be the latest episode of The Left Eating Itself, insiders within the British Broadcasting Corporation have claimed that the organisation is disappearing women by allowing trans individuals who would have historically been seen as men to fulfil gender quotas for women. The BBC, which is funded by the UK's mandatory TV tax, has implemented a hardline 50-50 regime of gender diversity quotas back in 2017, so been 5 years now, as part of a progressive push to increase the representation of women within the organisation. And in order to do that, it's hired more men. According to a report by The Telegraph, these diversity quotas are now falling to the newer progressive wave of transgenderism, to the chagrin of some in the organisation. The BBC has now disappeared women as a sex class and instead monitors gender identity. So they're actually removing the sex of women out of a job application and going for gender, because sex is problematic now to the left. To the BBC, which is very far left, the word sex itself is a problem because sex only encounters male and female, whereas gender means men who think they're women. They allow the word gender to cater for the mentally ill. Men who want to wear, as I say, women face so that they can get these jobs. This is a deeply sexist organisation where these concerns raised by women are dismissed. Meanwhile, the paper reports another unnamed insider as criticising the 50-50 regime as meaningless due to the system of counting now depending on the producer's conception of what gender is, making otherwise binary data unreliable. A spokesman for the BBC reportedly rejected the concerns as an attempt to generate a story where none exists. I'm gonna cry bullshit. Though one senior insider rejected this defence. This feels like discrimination even via the press office, being publicly scoffed at by your employer, they said, having also argued that the statement showed the BBC lacks basic understanding of the issue at hand. They cannot define woman because a definition of woman is problematic to the left, and is problematic therefore to the left's broadcaster, the BBC. While progressive infighting rages on within the halls of the publicly funded BBC, the issue of transgenderism has garnered more and more attention within the United Kingdom's public discourse, with criticism growing as to its effect as medical treatment in particular. Such concerns appear to have reached a new height recently after it was announced that the infamous Child Trans Treatment Clinic, the Gender Identity Development Service of the Tavistock and Portman NHS Foundation Trust, was being shut down after it was found unsafe for children. What they were doing was basically experimentation on children without oversight, without responsibility, and it's even come to light that children were being handed gender drugs and gender hormone changing drugs after one single meeting with someone who was not a consultant, not a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, not even an expert, just simply a locum doctor in some cases. But hey, it doesn't matter. So that, your kids, they're unimportant. What matters is the agenda and not being seen as an islamophobe by the mentally ill. In particular, the service, this is the Portman Trust, the service was found to overly focus on transgenderism while not sufficiently addressing other mental health issues in its patients. And we've gone in, I've done lots of videos on this, and it was just awful. And quite right, it has closed. But the BBC themselves cannot accept that women are women. They have to remove the term sex identity because of its problematic binariness, and so they've gone with, hey, we're doing it by gender, and so 50% of gender are female. So okay, let's do blood tests and let's see how that 50-50 split is going. And if it's not 50-50, let's fire the most important person of the BBC, and then we'll try again, and then the next person, then we'll try again, the next person. And so for every person that's labelled female but turns out to be a man, you start at the top and you keep firing down the ladder until they've all gone. And let's see how quickly that changes. But hey, you know, it doesn't matter. You're only women. It's not as though you're important to the BBC. It's not as though the left think women are important in any way, shape or form. No, women are merely there to be the target for the mentally ill. And what really gets you is this kind of this leapfrogging. I can't even understand how they work this. They hate women so much they want to cancel women. And yet they're doing this because so many men want to be women. If women are so weak and awful, why do all these men want to be women? You know, it just messes with me brain. Anyway. And I'm not mentally ill. Anyway, I shall come up and round off, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me with the Marxists in the BBC. Well, hardly surprising. When I first saw the piece, I thought, yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. The BBC, the most woke organisation in the world. And then it wonders why nobody watches it. 25,000 houses a month give up on the licence fee at the moment. There's been millions have given up paying the licence fee. They're actually starting to notice it's starting to hurt. And why? Because all they produce is a series of lectures on how bad we are, what terrible people we are. If they stopped making television programmes filled with identity politics and actually just started entertaining us once more, they might have a chance. But I think it's far too late because they keep hiring millennials who don't know how to tell a good story or don't know how to present a documentary in a fair and impartial way. So, yeah, tough. But it doesn't really matter what the BBC do because, as I say, very few people are watching them. I stream everything now. You're watching this, so you stream a lot too. And if we all just streamed our stuff and stopped paying the licence fee, it'd be the end of the BBC. They could offer a subscription service, but honestly, who'd pay? Anyway, we'll call it quits on this one. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, stop paying the licence fee, and goodbye.